Welcome to my channel. Ever wondered how the simple act of buying a cup of coffee can impact the global economy? It's all about transactions. These are the lifeblood of the economy, pulsating through the veins of global commerce. They're not just about your morning Joe or a grocery run. They're the billion-dollar business deals, the government trades that shape our world. Each transaction, no matter how small, spins a thread in the complex web of our economic system. So, buckle up as we delve into the fascinating world of transactions. So, what exactly is a transaction? Well, let's break it down in simple, digestible terms. Imagine a transaction as a significant event where value changes hands between two parties. This exchange can take many forms and occur in countless scenarios. Let's consider a simple example. Say you're browsing an online bookstore and you decide to purchase a novel. You're the buyer, the bookstore is the seller, and the novel is the item of value. When you pay the bookstore for the novel, you're completing a transaction. But transactions aren't limited to just buying and selling goods. Let's take it up a notch. Think about a multinational company acquiring another business. The acquiring company, the buyer, offers a certain value, usually in the form of money or stocks. The acquired company, the seller, gives up its ownership in exchange. And voila, another transaction takes place. In essence, a transaction is the backbone of any economic activity. Now that we understand what a transaction is, how does it actually work? The mechanics of a transaction. It's a dance of sorts, a process that involves several key steps and players. At the heart of any transaction, we have two main roles: the buyer and the seller. The buyer provides the demand and the seller supplies the goods or services. In a typical transaction, the buyer and seller engage in an exchange of value. The buyer offers something of value, typically money, in exchange for a good service or piece of information provided by the seller. This exchange of value could also be non-monetary, such as when we trade items or services. But regardless of the form, the value must be agreed upon by both parties for the transaction to take place. This leads us to a crucial part of any transaction: the agreement or contract. You see, a transaction isn't just a casual exchange. It's a legally binding agreement between the buyer and the seller. This agreement stipulates the terms of the transaction, including the price, the goods or services to be provided, and the time and place of delivery. Once the buyer and seller agree on these terms, the agreement is sealed and the transaction is set into motion. But a transaction doesn't end with the exchange of value. Oh no, there's more to it. After the exchange, the buyer and seller must verify the transaction. The seller confirms that they received the agreed upon value, and the buyer verifies that they received the goods, services, or information as agreed. If either party is not satisfied, they may dispute the transaction, leading to a potential resolution process. It's fascinating, isn't it? The sheer complexity and precision of the mechanics in each transaction we partake in, often without giving it a second thought. Whether you're buying a cup of coffee, selling an old piece of furniture, or trading your skills for someone else's, you're a part of this intricate process. So every time you buy something, sell something, or even trade, you're part of these intricate mechanics of transactions. But why should we care about transactions, you may ask? Well, let's dive into it. Think of transactions as the lifeblood of our economy. They flow through the veins of the market, pumping vitality into every sector. Every time you purchase a product, invest in a company, or deposit money into your bank account, you're initiating a transaction. These transactions, large or small, are the driving force behind market movements. They influence prices, determine supply and demand, and ultimately contribute to economic growth. In the world of finance, transactions take center stage. Investment transactions, for instance, can shape the trajectory of financial markets. An influx of investments can boost a company's value, while a sudden withdrawal can send it plummeting. Similarly, banking transactions provide the funds for loans and credit, essential tools for stimulating business growth and consumer spending. And let's not forget trading transactions, the heart of stock exchanges worldwide. They set the pace for economic trends, from bullish booms to bearish downturns. So, you see, transactions are not just about exchanging goods or services for money. They are the building blocks of our economy, the cogs that keep the wheel of commerce turning. Remember, every transaction you make, no matter how small, plays a part in shaping the economy. So next time you buy that cup of coffee, know that you're doing more than just quenching your thirst. You're contributing to the global economy.